So this is it's a short comic review. And it will not be a short itself, obviously. But I'm going to the library today to pick up the last book and then a movie and return these books. So there you go. It was when I was not able to finish. Now it's Echolands. Oh, and when I'm picking up the movie and the book, I'll just do a little community post of it, just show them off. Like, hey, here's the two that I didn't show off, or that because I got them later. To do a whole video for it, I think is a bit stupid. You know, it's kind of like, why not just show it as a community post? It's not like really a comic haul. It's just be a quick video and kind of wouldn't be the best thing to do. If I had a movie, if I had a video scheduled for like Thursday and Fridays, Omnibus Fridays, then fine. But this is the problem with doing videos first thing in the morning, is that it's first thing in the morning. But let's get on with it. First one up is Magnus Robot Fighter. I did do a community post on this, going over. I did a mini review, but this one, like I said in the mini review, I liked the issues 2 through 4 more than issue 1. Issue 1 was 50% exposition, and it was not really all that interesting to begin with. But as it went along, it got really interesting. It has a pretty downbeat ending, honestly, without giving too much away. And if he has the next two, cause I don't think it just lasted for 4 issues. It might have, but I doubt it did. But I'm eager to check out the series myself. But I'd probably just, weird thing there. I'd probably just either wait for him to give me the next 2 issues. This is what I got from the library guy. The reason why I wanted to read this quickly, because I own this series now. It's not one that of course, I'm low on battery. Always 1 or 2 things with this hunk of junk. Alright, come in. I did know that, but to be fair, but I should have let him die last night and then plugged him in overnight and had that 100% this morning. But anyways, but this is one that I owned. It was in a library book, and that's all what these books are, just library books. But this was one that I wanted to read for the next time I went to the library, and it was only 4 issues, so it was a pretty easy read. But definitely one that I do recommend. If you can, and like I said before, you can find it. You could probably find it for $1 each at your local comic shop, if your local comic shop has dollar bins and goes back and it isn't just unsellable books from last year. It's like, from yesteryear, like back issues, which I think more comic shops should do. Then we have Night Eaters, and this is one I think I liked, I liked a lot more than I did the first time. And the first time, because it's Marjorie Leo and Stan Takeda, I absolutely loved it the first time. And here, I love it even more. It is absolutely fantastic. It has the best pacing I think I've had in a long time for a comic. It drew me in so much more than any comic has in a long time. There was twice, because I was in the living room, my mother and my sister were going over our Christmas gifts, and in between me reading the book, so I didn't finish the book as quickly as I could have, because I was ordering stuff on Amazon for other people, and also giving ideas, not for me, but like giving ideas. My sister was doing Yankee Swap, and she didn't know what to get, and I was like, oh, let's look this up, and let's see. So I wanted to be the one person who was like, oh yeah, get that, and but there was twice when I was actually reading the book, after I ordered everything, where they said something to me and I had to have them repeat it, because I literally did not have any music going on. It wasn't too loud at all. It was because of how invested I was in this book. And that is saying a lot. Highest recommendation for this book. It is a reread, so it's not, it wouldn't be a pick of the week anyways, but pick of the week so far for rereads, if you're not including that. I am absolutely 100% finished with this series. It's not interesting. It's the Forgotten Realms book. It's not terrible. As Legend of Drizzt book 2. It's not terrible, but it's just like, it's so damn long. The pacing is kind of bad and just kind of boring, honestly. It's uninteresting to me. It feels like the author just took the book and adapted it not as lazily as he could, but you can tell that it's just a lot of, he just took the book and There's a lot of dialogue. He just took the book and put it on the comic book, and some splash pages, so you can tell that he had to be somewhat creative. But that's only because, if anything, that made his job easier. Because when they were explaining what the character looks like, he didn't have to do that, or the action with the was going on in the action, he didn't have to do that because that's what the artist is for. But I understand why someone likes this, but I didn't like it. I thought it was kind of just standard, and because it's so damn long, each issue is like 50 pages, if not more than that. I do not want to keep reading this book. Actually, I think it is more than 50 pages. I think it's like 60. And that one, along with another one you'll see, I did just decide to read. Okay, about there. I just did decide to read like per issue, kind of like with Magnus. But it's one of those things where I had too many books checked out, so I had to read two non-OGNs. For the most part, what I read like right away is the OGNs. It's all in one, and for the first like 4 days or so, it gives me more time to like. If I want to watch a movie, I can watch a movie without having to sacrifice a whole day of reading, or if I want to catch up on like whatever or what have you. It just makes it easier, and filming videos makes it a hell of a lot easier. That's why I do back-to-back filming so easily sometimes. I have as much time to do it. It's a weird thing, I know, but I hope it makes sense to you guys. Basically, OGNs are all in one. They don't go by issues. And the ones I read 25 of, at least, they do have by issues. I read one of those per day. Like one issue of Written, and Drizzt, and Dungeons and Dragons, and so on and so forth. Next one up is Supper Club, and the glare is terrible. I hope I'm looking. It's the glare. It's like, I don't know why it's so bad. Supper Club, and I did like this one. Not one I'd read again, but one that was enjoyable enough. And I would say that it is on the back here. They said it was perfect for Rita Telgemeier fans, and I would say that's absolutely true. It's not as good as Smile, nor was I expecting it to be. But it is pretty interesting. Honestly, I probably would read it again. I said I wouldn't, but I probably would. Honestly, it's such a good price book, and it's Image, my favorite publisher, the only publisher I'm buying trades from and hardcovers from nowadays, so I probably would. It's one of those books I could totally see myself reading again, but not one I'd recommend to anyone but fans of Rita Telgemeier. And we have the aforementioned Unwritten is the other one that I read along with Drizzt as kind of like one per day because I had too much checked out, yada yada yada. This one, I am kind of glad for it to be over. It's just I think a lot of it was, this series is I think 60 issues, and it could have been probably like 40 at least. And it's just a lot of it is just not added material. It's just so much going on that you kind of don't care about, but it's not terrible. I do think that this is, and I do still think this is an underrated series, but it's not one I'd be reading again anytime soon. I do mean that. It's not like the Supper Club where 2 seconds later I changed my mind. No, this is one that I will not be reading again for a long time, if at all. There's no real reason to go back to this. It's not like a Preacher. The reread value for this is very low. Probably the lowest I have had with a book that I still recommend. It's still good though. Like the first few volumes are like 2 through. This first volume was a bit slow. I remember that being. But volumes 2 through, I would say, let's say, because it's 8 volumes, 2 through 6 are like really damn good, and then 7 through 11 are still good. But like as the series goes along, you kind of feel like you're kind of glad when it ends. But still a good series, nonetheless. Just one that like a chore to read. And when I was picking the 2 books to read along with the OGNs, it was a no-brainer to pick these 2. Wonder Woman Earth 1 Volume 2, and I really enjoyed this one. Just enjoyable. Nothing a whole lot to say about it. It was a reread, and like with the first time I read it, I do like this volume a lot more than I did Volume 1. And Volume 1 I enjoyed even more the second time than the first time to a bigger degree. To more, you guys get what I'm saying. Book 2, Wonder Woman, good, read it. Fifth Beatle, this was absolutely, this is a perfect book for me, because I did not know anything about Brian Epstein, and now I know a lot more. It was very informative, very interesting, very investing, and even though it had, I wouldn't even say that. I was gonna say, even though I had like some like, oh, we have to deal with this because he's a closeted homosexual for the longest time, and he kind of dealt with it. It wasn't like too overdrawn at all, honestly. And they do something with it that's like very surprising. That I will not give away at all. It is probably something that has been obviously that because it's based off a true story, people probably know about. But this is very good. One that I highly recommend you read. Not you don't even have to be a fan of the Beatles to read it. I've like it's kind of like how I was with Queen before I watched Bohemian Rhapsody, where yeah, I listened to a bunch of Queen songs, but I was just kind of like, yeah, that's a band I like enough. Like Beatles is a damn good band, but not one that I like have bought any albums from. I don't watch all their movies. It's just one of those things where I listen to a song on the radio, or every now and then I'll listen to their Christmas song I really like, and that's about it. I forget who sings that though. It's not the Beatles officially slumped the numbers. And finally, Fantastic Four Life Story. Yet again, I absolutely love this book. More than I did the first time. It is just fantastic. As no pun intended. Not gonna say any more about it. If you like Fantastic Four, you'll absolutely love this. I would say it's a good entry point too. Now, I'm sorry if I was a little bit out of focus because the sun is glaring in my eyes, and we have a glare here where I can't even see myself basically. I can see like I obviously could see when I was showing up the book. So, but yeah, that's it.